What is up, guys? Um, Not sure how well this is working, but here we are. So I'm joined today with my buddy Kevin from No Cut Cards. If you don't know who they are, check them out at nocutcards.com. Uh, he's got a spot where you can tell your story. He also has a merch store. Awesome merch. I'm actually currently wearing one of his shirts underneath my own merch, which is right there. This shirt is actually one of a kind, which I'm going to actually show this off because I love this shirt. So give me 1 second. That's actually right now my favorite shirt I own. So today we're here to talk about laws of attraction, and I know it's short notice, guys, but we're here. You need to silence you. So, anyways, the reason why we're talking about laws of attraction is because me and Kevin here had a conversation the other day where he had asked me a very vital question that I think all of you guys should ask yourselves. And Kevin, what was that question again? Do you remember?
You remind me what that question was.
Okay, basically what he asked me is, could I see myself driving a flashy car? And I believe it was a flashy car, flashy clothes, and all that. And my response was no. Why should I spend money on a flashy car just to have it break down or something go wrong with it and me have to replace some expensive ass car? Well, the reason why this podcast is going on now is because I said that I am perfectly capable of fixing my 2009 Chevy Cobalt that I drive every day, and it's cheaper. Well, I got smacked in the face with reality, and in my opinion, it's a sign that, hey, watch what you say. My Cobalt on the way home from work today actually blew the motor, so it sucks. I'm upset about it. I got to replace the motor because that's my baby. But it kind of goes to show that I've been trying to push myself in doing the podcast, doing the streaming, getting a merch site set up, and everything like that. Now, I do know, Kevin, you're pushing yourself to do podcasting. You've already got your merch set up. Like 5 years ago, did you see yourself where you're at today?
Oh, hell no. Not at all. Nope, not at all. Eventually, I just got, I don't know, something just clicked in. I was at work one day, something clicked in, and, it's like, I know there's more to it than just this. I know there's more to it than just sitting in front of this desk or whatever the case may be. And I started pushing towards, at this point, so many different fucking things. It's absolutely unbelievable how many things. And I realized that, when you start thinking about what you want, you start going towards it, it literally just comes to you. It's attracted to you. As they call it, law of attraction. You think about what you want, and and then you start thinking about that you already have it. The shit just comes towards you. And it's something a lot of people just think is bullshit. They think it's bullshit. They think is, oh, that's not possible. That's not true. But it legitimately is. But one of the hardest things to do is to actually believe you are somebody that you're not. And that's when it comes to you, because your subconscious doesn't know reality. You know reality, but your subconscious doesn't. And when you start making your subconscious believe that you're that person, the world just comes to you.
I agree. Now, you also told me that you wanted me to grab, which I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't able to do that. My kids were kind of being a pain, but you wanted me to grab a notebook, paper, and start writing things down that I see in my future, but as if I had them now. These exercises, I know I've heard of them and everything like that. But would you say the laws of attraction? Would you say everything you've gained, you knew you were going to get prior, or you had stated you were going to get, or was it
Yeah.
I have?
So it was, so what I did, I haven't done in a while. I need to get back into it. But what I used to do was I wrote down a list of all the goals that I had. They could, whether they were big or small, it doesn't matter. It could be, I want to walk a mile today. It could be, I want, $100 billion by this time. But you start writing those down and you start seeing the things that come up frequently. And yes, that was great because you got to kind of see where you were going, your progress. But yeah, when you actually start writing down, and writing down is key, not just thinking it, you got to write it down, not text on your phone, writing it down. But when you start actually writing this shit down consistently and you think about it all day long, you actually do start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, it's things just come they just come to you. Like you start getting attracted to the different people, different situations come up, different feelings. And then you start seeing things differently. And you feel like a whole different person. It's not that imposter syndrome. I don't want to say it's that. It's not like you're lying to people, but it's just the way you act. So let's say if you want to be someone that owns, a $10 billion business, you can't function like a person that doesn't have a job. It doesn't work that way. So when you start to act and feel like that person, you start doing those types of things and you start actually attracting those types of people and the situations. And they're not always good. That's one thing. They're not always good. That's for damn sure. It's when things come to you, they come to you to ways that you didn't think they would come to you.
Well, it's just like if you're an addict, okay, one of the things they tell you in recovery, if you're an addict, you stay away from other addicts, right? You get
Yep.
away from the people it's the people that you used to use with. Um, you know, gangbangers. If you're a gangbanger, you get away from the area that you were doing that in. Why? Because it's so easy to slide back. And I believe that's kind of the same situation. You don't hang out with people that aren't the same goal oriented as yourself. Um, you know, so I guess in my opinion, now how I met you, which I'd like to bring that up because it was actually really, really kind of a cool little way. I had actually stated for a couple of years now that I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to get a podcast and all that, and just talking about it and talking about it. And every single time I've talked about it, I didn't go anywhere with it. I just left it alone. And then, finally, for some reason I was scrolling the actual For You page on TikTok, and that's where I came across your video. And it was a Veterans Day one, and I thought it was really cool because that Veterans Day video started off as it was sounding obnoxious towards veterans. Like you were going to start talking shit,
Yeah.
bashing them, right? And so I actually said because I wanted to hear what you had to say, and I was getting heated from the get go. And then when you started actually going with it, I was like, "Yo, this guy's got the same kind of sense of humor as we do. This is badass." So I actually I pushed a joke a little further because I have a lot of veterans that follow me on TikTok and everything like that. And like I said, guys, this was Veterans Day. Um, but I had a lot of veterans that followed me on TikTok, so I stitched the video and made it seem like, yeah, you were bashing veterans. And it was funny because ever since then, it was like, boom, that started a friendship. And then when we actually talked on the phone, it was like, I was like, God, this guy actually is kind of like-minded. He wants podcasts. That's what I want to do. He wants to actually have a business and get it up and going and do something to help humanity. Empowered Kings, what Empowered Kings was for is to actually kind of raise men to the standard that we belong. We belong in a standard of ourselves and in a roles for ourselves. Now, I'm not saying this is about bashing women because I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't for women, none of us would exist. We all know that. Women aren't the bad guys. The problem we have is we are not men anymore. Women don't want wimps that cower to them. That's how you get taken advantage of. And that's one of the things. Just like you said, law of attraction. You want a high quality woman. Every man sits there, oh God, she's hot. You want a beautiful girl and everything like that. But here's the problem you have. Okay. You want a beautiful girl, but you don't want to have the mentality of it, right? You don't want to put yourself as a high quality man for these beautiful women. It's not going to work.
Yep. Yep. I agree 100%. Yep. That's okay. And yeah, the law of attraction and that it all goes together. It all
Yeah.
goes together. If what you think about is what you will absolutely become. So if you want a, high class, gorgeous woman, whatever you want, if you don't act like you deserve that, you're not going to get it.
Yes.
And then also when you get in a relationship, you're also not going to be treated like that because you're not acting like that either. You might have said the right things in the beginning, but you get into it and then you kind of lay off like most people do. We've all, how that works.
Yeah.
Relationships, everyone always kind of always dips off a little bit,
Well,
but you let it take advantage.
yeah, and that's the other thing, especially, and I'm gonna say this because a lot of men, I've seen this so many times, it's unreal. Because a lot of men, they get home from work and they're like, that's it. They sit on the couch and they're lazy. Yet when you're first trying to get that girl, what happens? What are you doing?
Oh yeah, you're hauling
Yeah,
ass, fucking doing everything.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying. You're doing everything for him. Well, why does that stop the moment you get her? That's what I'm trying to get at. Um,
yeah.
and it listening to social media and watching everything, it's like, first off, man, I want to tell you right now, you're not simps because you're still doing things for your old lady. You're not a simp. You're doing what a man should do. A man should always provide and protect their woman. I don't care. That's how it is. That's what we're bred for. That's what we are. That's how we're what designed. You
Yeah.
know. Um,
Yep.
I know. I remember in high school, I'd always told my friends and my teachers and everything, I'm gonna own a business one day. I'm gonna own a business one day. One day I'm gonna own a business. But I'm now 38 years old, and guess what? I still don't own a business. I'm working on it. But that's the
Well,
thing. I let myself drop.
but if you think about this though, too, is with the podcast. We talked about this. I think it was last night or yesterday. Well, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Um, in the last week, you have made more progress than you have in the last 5 years or 4 years. You said you've been wanting to do a podcast for so long.
Yeah.
So if you think about this, it took you, and honestly, nobody in a week is only a couple of days. We talked about this. It's only it's
Mhm.
only a few days. And so you started a podcast, everything's set up. But I think you do own a business now. This is a business. I
Mhm.
don't care how you look at it. It is a business. And legally it's a business too, because legally you don't have to have an LLC. If you can still file, as a sole
Yeah.
proprietor, and it's a bit. So this is your business. So
Mhm.
add that to the list we were talking about yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yep.
Is now you have done it, but how did you do it? It's because what you do is you just jumped in. I mean, yes, it took a few years to get
Yeah.
there, but once you did it, though, look how much faster. Look at how fast it's gone since. It's like all that whole 5 years or 4 years, however long it's been. Look how far you've gone in 2 days. Imagine we're going to be in 2 weeks or 6 months or whatever the case be.
I
But
agree.
it's that law of attraction. As long as you're feeling and thinking you are who you want to be, it's going to keep moving forward. Now you're
Mhm.
going to have hurdles. You know that you're going to have fucking hurdles out the ass. It gets harder and harder, but you're built to be able to handle that. But that's part of that law of attraction. You're not going to be able to not going to be able to acquire the shit that you want if you're not ready for it. You got to build yourself to it.
I,
But
I, th-
but that's the whole process.
I think you said the best thing the other night as well. When you were talking about who you were talking about, you're like, I'm gonna beat you because I have more passion. You know,
Yep.
and that's something else. It's like, you say you want something, then have the passion to go for it. Don't just be like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want to do this, I want to do this, because that's
Right.
just empty promises to yourself.
Yep. Yep.
But
You're right.
having passion is how it works. And same, and I hate to say it, but that's another thing, man. Guess what? When you're in a relationship, it's normally not women that lose passion. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's us. We lose the passion, not women, because they want that. They want the romantic. They want the passion. They don't
Yep.
want it every day. I'll tell you right now. They don't want that every day. Sometimes they need a rough guy that's going to be like, look, this is what we got to do. We got to get to work. Not that, oh baby, you can do it later. No, you've got to be a man. I'm sorry, you got to be
Yep.
a man. You got to take
Yep.
care. You got to take care of your woman the right way.
Yep. In relationships as well,
Hmm.
relationships and life, like you just said, you have the passion, and like we had the conversation.
Hmm.
It's not so with me. It's like it's not because I have more passion than anybody else does, but it's in this work relationships too. It's you got to be in order to make everything work. You have to be willing to sacrifice everything. The
Hmm.
more you can sacrifice, the further you're going to grow, and that's just how it is. And you'll find that out. You'll find out how much you are willing to sacrifice because the opportunities are going to come up to do it.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying if you have to sacrifice every little single thing there is in the world, but there is a limit to where you're like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm good. I'm done. Doesn't mean you're going to stop. So like the conversation that we had, yeah, that's what I told that person is like, I, as far as people that I know myself is no, you're not going to outwork me. It's not physically, but because I am personally willing and have sacrificed I personally am willing and have sacrificed the things that most people are sacrificing for. So so in that it's like, how could you honestly be or work harder than that person when they're willing to say, fuck my entire life. I don't care. But that's not just me. There are people like that. And most of them are very, 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 very wealthy and successful, but that's what it takes. And the same with relationships and, with men and women, everything in order to have a relationship that works both ways, both have to be willing to sacrifice the relationship. And that's what I mean, because I think most relationships end because of what? Mostly because of finances. I know finances is one of the top ones for divorce. I don't remember what the other one. I know finances is one of them. And because I think most people, they are in a relationship because they have to be for finances. If you build a whole life together, you split apart, what the fuck's going to happen? What are you going to do? Your whole life shattered, right? So
Yeah.
to make it work, you have to be able to sacrifice that comfortability,
And that brings back to what I've said on this I said on the videos in the previous videos I've had. One of the reasons why we as men hold 80% of the suicide rates is because we give up on ourselves. I'm going to tell you guys right now, failure in a relationship does not mean failure in life. You just have it. It's just bad. Once you give up, that's when you fail. If you give up, you fail.
That's right.
That's
the
it.
only way to fail is to either, two ways: don't start or
Mhm.
quit. That's
Yep.
it. That's
And
it. So if you do, go ahead.
unfortunately, I've started, so I can't quit now.
Well, and that's how it is, though. Like I said, that's the only ways you can fail if you don't start or if you fucking quit. And once you
Which
started, you've got no choice.
I know Two Bets is not here with us right now. He's Norman, my co-host, but he had prior engagements with a good friend of his. So, but Two Bets tells me all the time. He tells me all the time. The biggest issue he has when training dogs is not the animal, it's the person, right? So what tells me is get out of your own head, because that's the issue we have. We get out of our own head, we overthink. It's like you said as well. Your brain will give you God, I can't remember the exact thing he said. Something about your brain will give you every reason or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. We as human beings, we are wired to think negatively, and we do not like risk. And it won't get easier. It doesn't get easier. So every time you ever know, every time you have a good idea, or you're like, I want to do this, before you even realize it, before it comes to the front of your mind, your subconscious already giving you 3,000 reasons why it won't work, why you shouldn't. So so it's like you will always think negative, because we're not built as risky human beings,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that goes all the way back to cave days. Can I eat that? No, that's poisonous. He died.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I still want to know who decided to grab a hold of a cow and drink the milk out of it and thought that was good, or saw an egg pop out of a chicken's rear end and decide to scramble it and eat it. I'm sorry. I mean, come on now. How did we figure out that was going to taste good? I'm just saying. But it's the fact of the matter is, and just like a video that you did, another video I stitched, if you're not willing to risk it, then you already screwed up. You got to be able to risk it. I don't care if it's love. I don't care if it's business. I don't care. I don't care what it is. If you're not willing to risk it, it's not worth it to you. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, if it's worth it, you will do it no matter what. And it's a lot of times, like, we're just scared to risk it on anything. I mean, I think that's risk is scary. It's not supposed to be comfortable. If you're comfortable, you will never move forward if you're comfortable. There are many people most people are comfortable. If they have a shitty life, they're very comfortable. They hate it. They absolutely hate their life, but they're not willing to risk anything different to get out of it. Which means you are comfortable in the situation that you're in.
We actually got a comment from Facebook that says, "When you're hungry," and that's fact. That is fact.
Damn right. Fuck yeah.
So everyone wants to be a millionaire, right? Everyone wants to be able to go on vacation. Everyone really wants to, they want to do these things. But the differences between us, like me, myself, because I'm one of those people, I want to go on vacation. I want to be able to have $1 million. I want to do that. But the fact of the matter is, everyone wants that, but only 1% of the world gets that. Do you know why? Because they were willing to work. They were willing to put the risk in. There's a saying that says that any millionaire can lose everything they have, and within 10 years they'll be back to being a millionaire.
Well,
it's the mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing, especially with business is, most very successful people have gone bankrupt many times. They have lost everything way more than once. But the reason they get it back so fast is because they know how they did it the first time. So they move up and they fuck up here, they lose it all. But you know what? They know how they got here. They get here again, and they just don't do that again, and they keep going up, and they fuck that up, and they come back down. That's just how it works. So once you've done something once, you can do it again. That's all there is to it. Once you've
It's
done it
like
once, you can
it's like
fucking
a
do it again.
stair, you know. It's
It
a
is.
stair. You fuck up, you fall down. So you
That's
climb
right.
back up the stair, and then you go this
That's
route. Fuck
yeah.
up, then you go this route.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Because
I mean,
we learn most of failing. We don't learn shit from succeeding. We don't learn a fucking thing.
oh yeah.
We don't. It's all about
But
failing. Because when you fail, you know what you fucking did wrong. You won't do it again.
which that's the other thing with law of attraction. I personally I don't believe that just speaking it out is going to automatically make you a millionaire. I don't believe that. It takes work behind that. So law of attraction, I guess the theory and how you explained it kind of made me understand it more because it's not, I am a millionaire. I am a good podcaster. I am
Right.
this. I am that. It's I am, and then I work my ass off to be that. I
Yes.
am, and then I put myself in the mindset. This is how I'm going to do this. Um,
Yes. And the amazing thing about that is when you do it. So when you think it and you believe that you are that person, like you'll start acting like that person. But it's not just like, okay, I want to be this type of person, and you have to work toward. You do have to work towards it, but the opportunities for you to be that person now come into play. And I know, again, it sounds like bullshit, but it legitimately works that way. Because if you believe you are this person, your life does not still stay the way it was. Though, like, the world has a way of literally attracting shit to you to make it happen, but you have to learn to take the opportunities and use the tools that are given to you to actually fucking make it work. Like you said, you can't sit here in this fucking chair and be like, I want to have $10 billion, and all of a sudden a fall hits you in the fucking face. I mean, I guess it could. I mean, wherever the hell that is, I'm gonna go sit there. But but yeah, you have to actually work for it. But the tools, all the tools. Bob Proctor said it. All the tools that all the tools that you need are already here on this planet. All of them. They're all right here in front of you. Every one of you, or every one of them, but you gotta get on the right frequency to get them.
I think the funny thing is, and this is for this is for a lot of adults because I even catch myself doing it. I tell my kids, get off the phone, get off the phone, get off your phone, get off your phone. I'm always telling them that. But the problem is you know this thing right here, this little phone right here, has every bit of knowledge that the humans even exist, that we even have. Every piece of knowledge is right here in this little device.
Yep.
But I think my biggest issue with my kids being on it is they're not actually researching for knowledge. They're watching YouTube. They're rotting their brain watching these stupid shows on YouTube, and uh, you know, I've seen some dumb ones. I don't want to bring any up because I'm not gonna name them, but
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. There's a lot of pretty stupid shit on there. Absolutely. And but that
Eric,
but
that
that
is correct. So Eric says failure isn't a thing; it's a learning lesson. So those of you guys that are watching on Rumble, you are more than welcome to ask anything, say any statements, whatever you want to do. For you guys on YouTube, same thing. I'm just not sure I can actually see it because apparently my YouTube's not popping up. So
yeah, it's
let's
fucking trial
find
and error.
YouTube.
Hey, it's trial and error, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still learning all this, but you know what? I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep
That's
going.
right. It's not a failure. You're fucking learning, bud.
Right? It's only failure if I quit. Isn't that what you guys
That's
say?
right. They fucking right. It will.
Okay. This is the one I'm supposed to be at, but I don't think it shows them live. Oh, it does show them live. Ooh, mute that. Okay. So yeah, now I got YouTube over here. I've got Rumble here. I've got Facebook there. What's up, Kyle? So
You're gonna get a fucking
my buddy
fucking
Kyle was
assistant here
actually
soon.
in a motorcycle accident not too long ago, and I kept telling him, I was like, "You're gonna make it out of this, man. You're strong. You're strong." I'm not gonna lie. I was scared shitless because after everyone told me everything, I thought he was done for. But
Mhm.
he's finally home from the hospital, um,
Awesome.
and he's actually watching over here on Facebook. Uh,
Awesome. Hell yeah. Good
your
shit.
Rumble is not working. Okay. Did you look up Empowered Kings? I'm guessing, is it not allowing people to chat? What's going on here? Uh, nah. It shows I have 2 viewers. That's all it shows. That's all right. Um, anyways, back to what I'm saying. So I'm honestly starting to believe that this law of attraction, which I'm not gonna lie, I was very skeptical before. I'm honestly starting to believe that it actually works because I remember one thing Kyle told me. He keeps telling me he'll walk again. He'll be walking again. He'll be walking again. And I believe it. I believe he will because one, he's like me. He's strong. He doesn't give up. Um, oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I'm also over here on YouTube on Empowered Kings as well. So you can pretty much find this podcast anywhere on YouTube. I'm not on Twitter yet. I'm working on that. But for Facebook, I'm just over here. Um, so over here, I'm just on my account. But I also want you guys to say, I do want to say this. If you guys have TikTok or you are on TikTok, please go look up Kevin over on No Cut Cards on TikTok. He's an amazing creator, very, very motivational. I mean, the guy motivates me every time we talk. I don't care. It's like, why don't you want that flash thing? Do you not think you deserve it? I'm like, well, maybe I do. Okay, I want it now. I don't want that Cadillac Escalade now. No,
No shit. That's what I'm saying. But it all goes into one thing. Like if you, like I say, remember if you think about what you want, you're gonna get it. But you gotta remember, if you think you're a piece of shit, you're gonna be a piece of shit too. It works both. It works both ways. It's not just like, oh, I just think good. No. If you think bad shit will have, like, and if you think you don't deserve shit, if you don't think you deserve it, you don't think, oh, I haven't earned this, or or pity me, woe me, oh, my life sucks because of this. You know what? Then you're gonna keep getting the same shit. And honestly, majority of the time when you look at this shit, and a lot of people have trouble with it, and I used to a long time ago, but when you blame everything else, you're fucked. Because nobody wants to take accountability for shit. And I think we've all been there. I mean, most people are still there, and I've been there, of course. But the best thing about being held accountable, if you hold yourself accountable for shit, you can change that. If it's not your fault, how the fuck can you change it? If someone else's fault all the time, oh well, I better wait for that to change. It's not going to. If you fucked it up, you can fucking fix it. That's all there is to it. But it's hard.
Agree.
But it's fucking hard. It's really hard. That's the problem. That's why people don't want to admit it. It fucking sucks. It absolutely sucks.
You over on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, subscribe and like.
You got it. Fuck it. It's in there.
Let's build YouTube up because Rumble's great and all, but let's build YouTube up. Go find us over on Empowered Kings on YouTube then, because I actually am apparently getting comments right through here. I haven't got any comments from anyone over on Rumble. You guys over here on Facebook, thank you for being here. But yeah, YouTube's working. So I get the comments right over here on YouTube. So I don't even need to watch the YouTube. So that works. Even Ken, welcome in. Thank you for showing up. Do you have any questions for Mr. Kevin?
Fuck. Put you on a spot.
Sensei Kevin.
Yeah, okay. Fuck. If I'm your sensei, you got some fucking problems. I'll tell you that, right?
You better go seek help. And I don't mean the help like I'm trying, like you're wanting me to give you. I mean the mental help.
yeah, real fucking help.
I'm a firm believer that we're all in the same boat. We just, everyone finds a different way out of it. We're all in the same life draft. We just need to find a different way out of it.
But you know what? But it always starts with you. That's one thing in common.
Yeah,
that way out. That way it's you. That way out is fucking you. That is it. There's no other way out. I mean, yes, of course, everyone needs. I don't give a fuck who you are. Everyone needs help along the way. If you think you can do this life by yourself, you've lost your mind. Like, you can't. But you have to. But you have to be the priority. You have to be the most important one. You have to do the fucking work. And that's something that I've definitely learned is, you think about. I don't know if I asked you this question, is if you think about all the time. There's a lot of good people out there. Mm-hmm. All the time you have spent helping people. Like, let's say for the last let's put 20 years. All the time that you have spent, like, physically talking to people, if you count the seconds, the minutes, the hours, so on and so forth, I bet you in 20 years, you've probably spent 5, like, legitimately, like, years talking and trying to help people. In all honesty, think about it this way is, where the fuck has it gotten you? Because you end up caring more about that person's shit than they do.
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
So, right. So, and that's the problem. Everybody wants to hear, a lot of people want to get their shit out, their story out. They want to bitch about the problems, but they don't want to fucking anything about it, because you could say, look, this is 100% thing. Jesus could come down and say, hey, This is the answer, and they wouldn't fucking fix it
Mhm.
because they don't put the work in it. And a lot of people love hearing the shit, the pity themselves. But if you keep doing it, you're not going to get the fuck away from it.
No, I agree. I agree. I have been listening to a lot of it's Stoicism by Marcus Aurelius. Let's see, Plato, like all the old philosophers believed in this stuff, and like the more I listen to it, it's like kind of making sense on reality and everything like that. Especially there was a quote. I believe it's you can't control anything around you. All you can control is what's inside, your reaction to what happens. Which I've been teaching my kids this. My kids, let's go Junior and Riley, those two. They will pick fights with each other just because they're bored. And it's like Riley will say Junior's an idiot, and Junior just haul off and hit him. My youngest boy, he'll haul off and hit him. And it's like, Junior, now you're in trouble for hitting him. Well, he called me an idiot. Well, that's fine. He called you an idiot, but he didn't hit you, did he? Words don't hurt. They hurt inside.
Right.
Grow stronger. That's why I keep telling them, grow stronger. And I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this because, anti-bullying and all that. But I'm going to tell you right now, the reason bullies are able to win right now is because we are not teaching our kids to be stronger. We're not teaching our kids that, hey, those are words. As long as you don't believe them, you're good. But the thing is they are starting to believe it, and that's why it's hurting, and that's why we have the issues we have with,
yeah.
But
it works for all of us. It works for all
yeah.
of us too, though. Yeah. Like if you're around, even if it's not about you, if you're just around negativity and shit all the time, you're going to be a negative motherfucking person. Like that's all there is to it. You're going to. If you're around positive people and people who want to do shit, you will fall in that category. You will fall in line, whether you want to or not. You're going to. So when you're around a bunch of people just sitting around a table talking shit about people, you are that person. You are going to do the same thing, and most likely you're probably one of the people they're talking shit about. To be honest with you, right?
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
yes, so like whoever you're around, you are going to be that person, and it's up to you to not be that person. And that's something that it's we all are where we are for our own fucking decisions. I mean, yes, a lot of people had a lot of bad shit happen in the past. Like, I mean, past are usually pretty shitty. A lot of people are pretty shitty past, but some of that stuff we didn't control. I'm just sexual abuse and all that kind of shit. Like when you're young, you can't control that, right? But you can control how it affects you now. And if you and so you should, like I said before, you could use your past, don't live by it. If you live by your past, you're fucked. If you use it to build, if you use it to build yourself forward, you're good to go.
I tell my kids the same thing. You can. So there's a difference between trauma, or sorry, being traumatized by something and using it as a crutch. There really is. I mean, a lot of people get mad at me for saying this. PTSD, yeah, that's something uncontrollable. I get that. I do. I get it. But the issue we have is you have kids that are out there, getting name called, bullied, and all that, and they grow up to be what? Bullies. They grow up vengeful. But if you teach your kids, hey, let this build you, let this make you a better person. See, me, I tell my kids all the time, okay, they're jealous. If they're bullying you, they're jealous because they know you're going to advance further. They feel that energy you have because my kids, I'm telling you right now, my kids are all smart. They're jerks, but they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they know they are. They're just like their dad. They get their stubbornness from their dad. Okay, I'll tell you that right now because I'm a stubborn, and I say it, I'm a stubborn asshole all the time. I say it all the time. But I know my kids will go further than I am, than I will ever go because they're going to learn from me. I hope, at least if they actually listen, they're going to learn from me. So that means they're going to be able to go further. Which that was another question you asked me. Where do I see myself? Or no. How do I see myself as successful? Right? I think it was something like that. And I told you, I was like, I don't ever believe I'm going to ever see myself a success because it's not meant for me. My success is not meant for me. It's for my children, for the generations after me.
Right.
Yeah. And I believe that because if I start building the foundation now, because no one built the foundation for me, not one person built the foundation. So if I start building that foundation now, my kids could put the first floor down. Their kids can put the second floor down, and build it like a skyscraper. So hopefully within some time in our future, one of our ancestors will enjoy the fruits of my beginning, my labor at first. Hopefully.
That's right. It only takes one person to change an entire generation.
Mhm.
Or generations. It takes one person to do it, and it could be anybody.
Yeah.
You know,
I
anybody could do it.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Ginger? What's up, Caitlin? Welcome in. We are currently live over on YouTube. If you guys want to jump over there, I'm not trying to pay too much attention to my phone. If y'all want to join over on YouTube, go to look up Empowered Kings on YouTube, and I'll be able to see you better. But so for you, how has the laws of attraction actually helped you?
Well, to be honest with you, this is the best thing I could probably say about it is the laws of attraction have, to be honest with you, have stripped away all the bullshit. It's priceless. I'll be honest with you. Like that is the most, because again, when you want something, okay, it'll be given to you, but maybe not maybe not your current state, and that's the problem. All the shit that you might want, you probably can't handle it. You know, I mean, be honest with you, you give somebody, okay, just get an example. You give somebody that is a drug addict, alcoholic, whatever case it be, you know, $100 million, they'll be dead in a week. And the same thing, but in the same thing though, you could give somebody who is very business oriented $100 million, and they don't know how to handle it, like emotionally and
Yeah.
mentally, and they can be dead in a fucking week. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like you're not going to get what you can't handle. Yeah, but so that's how it goes. You can't ask for this, but then not be able to handle it and get it. If you do, you're
Yeah.
fucked, right? And that what it is. But if you do and you get it and you're fucked, that just taught you a lesson. That just taught you something. That just built something inside of you and stripped some other shit away. So I said, in my opinion, that has been the best thing about this whole process so far, has been just allowing me to know me as a person. That's where it's been. Is allowing me to actually kind of learn who I am, which has been amazing, absolutely fantastic. I'm not the same person I was.
Welcome in, Yvonne. All right, so real quick, guys, I'm actually going to I'm going to go ahead and show his website real quick because I really do love your website. By the way, it's beautifully done. So let's see, how do I do this? Share screen.
I'm not a fucking web designer either.
No,
that's fucking hell no, it's not my thing. And in case anybody listening, I do not want one. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay, so this is his website, and when you get in, I'm going to tell you right now, the very second you get in, the first thing it asks you is if you're 18, which I like that because that's something that's yeah. So his website, you scroll down, who we are. It says who we are, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you read who he is, you know, it is like when I read this, it's like it was after I talked to you, and I read this, and I'm like, he had to have wrote that. He had to have wrote that because that sounds exactly like what you say to me. Okay. So now, and then of course you got all your reviews, but this
it's
is
all new. Yeah, it's all new shit. So yeah, it's
like, I mean, it actually allows you to go onto it and tell your story. Is it showing that or no? It's not showing it, is it?
well, it's if you click that, it's another link up top, or on the navigation bar too.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna share my screen because apparently it's not. Yeah. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm just gonna share my screen, make it easy. All right. So this is actually the spot where you can actually tell your stories, right?
Yep,
So
sure is.
I really love this because now other people's stories are helping other people, right?
That's the whole point of it. Yep, absolutely.
And
And just so anybody knows who wants to do it, it does go. It's anonymous. The name won't be put up there unless you want it to be. It's up to you. But anybody can make a free Google email in 2 seconds and just send one in, and you can delete the fucking email. Like there's ways to do this, make it completely anonymous. So that's just a way to want to throw that out there.
I mean, it's beautiful. Now I've got to brag about this because there's so many that I like. Once again, and yeah, I'm gonna put this out there. It's gonna sound like an advertisement. I'm sorry if it does, but this is a store, okay? I'm very proud of this shirt right here, guys. I'll say that. I think that I'm a little partial to that shirt right there.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see. And I mean, just like these
There's a
shirts
lot
and
more
hoodies
shit. There's a lot more.
are
There's a lot more
all.
shit coming. There's a lot more shit coming. It's just like it's a start.
Oh yeah,
But
these shirts and everything. They're literally they're inspirational. Don't just settle for good enough. Just get better. Come on now. I love it, man. I do. I truly do
okay,
love it.
I appreciate that.
I think it's amazing work. I 110% support these guys, or sorry, this guy because
There's a couple of us. It's yeah.
well,
There's some.
I know
There's
there's
a
a
behind the
team. I
scene.
know there's a team.
Behind the scene,
It,
yeah, absolutely.
well, just like
I'm not
me,
taking credit for everything. Fuck that.
they're just like me. I have a team behind me. If it wasn't for two vets, I probably, as you know, I wouldn't be sitting here. My kids.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you hear them out there. um, I will say this, and that's one thing I've noticed about you. We're dads first. That's the first thing we are. We're dads. And I'm gonna give every man or woman, because we do have females in the chat. I'm gonna say it for you guys. Now, if you're not gonna succeed for yourself, succeed for them. If I could bring I mean, like just succeed for them. Start building. And I will say, I do know Miss Yvonne. I know her personally. She's pushing herself to the limits. Um, I know my
Yep.
boy Heathen Ken up there. Same thing. You guys just keep pushing. Don't give up. Times get hard. We know this, but don't give up.
Yep. That's
You know.
you're right. You're 100% right. And also, there's something to think about too. Is I know. I mean, a lot of people will work their fucking ass off, and they keep going and going. Nothing changes. But remember that too. That what is it? The definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. You could be working your absolute ass off, but if you're doing the same shit over and over and you're not getting anything else out of it, change up something a little bit. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. You can do something very small, and it's amazing what the hell could change. It really it is. So just because you're putting in the hardest of work every single day, if you're doing the same shit and not getting any extra results out of it, you got to change it. And that's
Yeah.
something we have all fallen in that category, and we all fall in that category. But you got to realize once you realize it, you're good to go.
There's another survivor, female survivor. I know she's amazing. By the way, we're currently live over here on YouTube and Rumble. Power Kings on YouTube. Same with Rumble. Angela, yes, that's another girl, man. I watched this girl, and I'm not kidding, man. This girl went through the shit, dude. Like, her ex was a piece of shit, but you know what? She stood up, and this is what I'm gonna say to you, ladies out there, especially you younger women: do not tolerate a man that will treat you like shit. Don't
Yep,
don't do it, because that's not a man. It's not a
that's right.
man. It's not worth it. Just like
That's
you
right.
men out there, don't tolerate women that treat you like shit and don't appreciate you. They don't
Nope.
appreciate this people in general. If they don't appreciate you, walk the fuck away.
That's right. That's right. And part of that is respecting yourself too. A lot of people have so little self-esteem and self-respect that they just let people just treat them like absolute shit. And that
Right.
honestly, and when you felt like shit for your whole life, it is fucking hard to change that. It is. I'm guilty of myself. Like I always felt like that forever. And then once I finally changed that, life got easier. It really
Oh
did
yeah.
because you stopped putting up with shit. Your standards, you started to have standards for yourself. And you got to remember, if somebody, actually heard this. Oh, I've heard it on where the fuck it was, Facebook, TikTok, where the fuck it was. But you
Mhm.
know, how people treat you is a reflection of how you see yourself because you're going to allow them to treat you like that,
Oh,
right?
I was in a relationship for 13 years, and my kids ask me all the time, Why'd you put up with it? Why'd you put up with it?" And the only honest answer I could say is, when I went into the relationship, I had plenty of respect for myself. But I'm going to tell you right now, and this is the issue, ladies and gentlemen. When you start a relationship, they're amazing. They are amazing people, right? And then as the relationship goes on, you start getting it's like a rock. You're sitting there tapping with a rock with a screwdriver. Eventually, that rock starts to break until there's nothing left. Don't become something that's nothing left. Get out while you can.
That's right.
Um,
It's much harder to stay in it than it is to get out of it.
oh yeah,
You don't think so, but it's just, yeah. If you don't get out of it, it just gets worse. It doesn't get better by letting time go by. It just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies.
well, I think the worst part about my situation was I kept telling myself, well, she's sick. I got to help her. She's sick. I got to help her. Because that's what was put on to me. The doctor said, well, you're going to have to help her through this. You're going to have to keep her going, da, 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 da. And I'm like, I got a lot of work. So, I felt guilty for leaving because I knew she was sick, and I don't
Yeah.
mean sick. She had bipolar disorder, I believe. But it's like, I allowed that disorder to be an excuse for her to not only abuse me, but abuse our family. And so now where I'm at today, I would never put up with that again. I would
Yep.
never put up with that again. And it took me learning all that to realize, hey, I'm better than this. I'm stronger than this. I mean, see, I think I told you in 2000, what was it, in 2020? It was 2019, my kids were taken. 2020, I was completely homeless. Like, it was at the end of 2019 and all the way through 2020, I was completely homeless. I was living in my Durango, and I was ready to end myself. I was going to be a part of that 80%, but you want to know something? Like I told you, that dream I had, boom, changed my life. And like you said earlier, there's times that, God's going to wrap his hands around you, whatever you pray to, I'm going to say that, going to wrap their hands around you. And there's times that, okay, you got this, run, and I believe today, after the conversation of, maybe I do deserve that flashy car. Like I was saying, maybe I do deserve it. And I started thinking, I was like, maybe I do deserve a nice car, nice clothes, a nice house, maybe I deserve this. And then no sooner do I start thinking that way, my tire blows on the car, 2 days ago, I finally get that fixed. And then the motor blows. I'm like, what the heck? I think Two Vet's wanting to join us, you guys. This is going to be great if he does, because maybe he could tell a little bit of his story. Give me 1 second. Two Vets, you can either accept the invite or not. That's fine. I'm going to send it to you through the Discord. Jump on in. But like I said, I mean, I don't think anything just happens just at random. You know what I mean? I don't believe in coincidence. I never have believed in coincidences.
Nope.
I believe everything happens for a reason. And if you're meant to walk that path, you're going to find it. As long as you don't choose to stay off that path. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. I mean, to get that destination are a bunch of different paths. And usually we take the shitty ones.
Oh, yeah.
It's never an easy one. If it's easy, it wasn't the right one. I pretty much right now. It wasn't.
You're always going to be able to do it.
You always veer off that path because you're going to start walking. You're going to start walking down. You're going to have to jump over some fucking hurdles.
I'm guessing he's in his car.
I am.
Welcome in, Two Vets. Welcome in.
And I don't know how to turn my camera off. Oh, okay. Yep. There you go.
You know what? How about I do that? Can you still talk, Two Vets? I don't know. Yeah, we can't hear him. We can't hear him unless you're on the stage. So, Two Vets, do you have any examples of when the laws of attractions have worked for you in your advantage?
Are you there?
Yes, we're here. We can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. In what way are you talking about the laws working in my advantage?
The laws of attraction.
Yeah. When
okay.
I met my wife.
Okay.
We were attracted to each other, and I am thankful every day that she puts up with my ass.
She's with him, isn't she?
She's gotta be.
Well, actually, no. I just left. I actually just left the bar.
He's worried about her being in my Facebook or my Facebook live.
Nah.
No, I'm just playing. But no. So basically, what we're talking about? Do you know what we're talking about? We're talking about the laws of attraction.
Negative.
Okay, so I'm gonna give him this because this is not his fault. He has not been here through the whole thing. So basically, the laws of attraction go like this. I gotta mute you, man. All I hear is your car. So basically, the laws of attraction go like this. Okay, Laws of attraction state that if you state something and you say it out loud, you believe it with all your mind, all your heart. If you believe it hard enough and work hard enough, it's going to come true. So, like in my case, doing the podcast, I've been saying I'm going to do the podcast for how many years, and finally, it's like, well, what between you and Kevin, you both told me, well, what's taking you so long? Why you do it? Just do it. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. The fact of the matter is, I was being a scared little bitch because I was too afraid to get in front of a camera and talk. To be honest with you, if it wasn't for Kevin and Austin, I probably wouldn't be here.
I'm glad you said it.
This mother. Anyways, now you understand, right? No, but
Oh, I understood 6 months ago.
is there a way? There we go. I was removed from the stage. No, I'm just playing. But on a real note, so for me, how the laws of attraction developed me is during, and this is where how I know they're fact. I mean, to each their own. You guys could believe they're fake or not. I don't care. That doesn't affect me. That affects you. So the whole time I was fighting for my kids, I was having the hardest time when I was doubting whether or not I would get them back, right? But once I started believing, hey, I can get my kids back. There's nothing to stop me. The law's in my favor. I can do this. That's when things started working in my favor. During my divorce, when I was fighting for my kids during my divorce, to anyone that doesn't know, if you have to fight with CPS for your kids, you also have to fight in divorce court for the same custody that CPS gives you in divorce court. But when I was fighting in divorce court, which, as anyone knows, for men, it is extremely difficult to gain full custody of your kids. I actually have full legal and sole custody. Okay. So with that said, I was kind of scared. Not gonna lie, I was scared. And finally, it got to a point to where my attorney was really screwing me over, and I was like, I was done. I refused to pay her. I was like, I ain't paying you. Nothing's been done. So why am I gonna pay you? I was like, I could just do everything you're doing. I could do myself. Well, it turned out I wound up doing it myself, and I got full legal and sole custody. Now, child support got fucked on, but $100 a month. Just saying.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like I said, but that's the thing. Like I said, it's one of those things where a lot of people only see the good. Like, if they always focus on the positive shit, they don't focus on the negative shit being positive at all. But negative shit really is positive because it builds you to be different people. But if anybody wants the proof of that law of attraction works, just think about everything you've thought about your entire life and where you are. Because again, it works both ways. It really does. If you think your life's shit, well, there you go. There's that law of attraction. You're attracting shit.
So
it's pretty simple.
So with that said,
I'm going to chime in here. Yes, I do have a piece of the pie that I would like to contribute, but considering my circumstances, give me about anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes, and then I can answer that without interruptions.
Sounds good to me. So for me, okay, in order for me to be where I'm at today, I had to go through all that pain and all that bullshit that I went through with my ex-wife, right? Because now I know, one, the type of woman I won't be with ever again. I know what I will put up with as far as how my kids are treated, what I will put up with as far as, myself. But at the same time, if I hadn't gone through that crap with my ex-wife and I was still with her, I'm scared to death to be honest with you, I would never have a desktop computer. Matter of fact, I barely even had a laptop because when me and her first, wasn't when we first got together, but it was about a year or two into it, right? She had thrown my desktop at my face, I was scared to death to have a laptop or a computer because those things hurt. I don't know if any of y'all had a desktop thrown at you, but those things hurt. They ain't light. They hurt. And the older ones, this was back in like 2011, 2012, something like that. Yeah, they hurt. I'm going to tell you right now, they'll leave a pretty good goose egg. My suggestion is do like Kevin said on his TikTok video. And if there's something you want, risk it. Go for it. I know for a fact, Heathen Ken over there, he just, he moved down here from Canada to be with a girl that he fell in love with on TikTok. That's a hell of a fucking risk. That is one of the biggest risks I could think of a man doing.
Yep.
Dumb or not, who knows? That's not up to me to decide. That's up to him. But
Right. But good or bad, it still builds you to be a person.
Exactly.
Everybody wants good shit. Everybody wants good things to happen, of course.
Mhm.
But you have to turn your mind around and look at and this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, look at everything positive. My house fucking burned down. Oh, at least I was warm for a few minutes. It's not that kind of shit. It's not that, it's not that kind of positivity shit. It's really not. Like I stepped in dog shit. Well, at least now I get a new pair of shoes. Like, no, it's not that. It's more or less being like, okay, this
I needed
bullshit.
to clean my shoes today.
Yeah, it's more or less, this bullshit happened, and I could either do this. I could look at it as, oh, pity me, or I could look at it and be like, okay, what the fuck did that just teach me? Like, what did that just prove to me? And that's it. And once you do it, once you get your mind turned in that way, honestly, like me, I honestly love when bad shit happens because I know what it's going to do. I've gotten through which anyone sitting here watching it have done the same thing. You've gotten through every pile of shit you've been through. Like every shitty situation. You're sitting here right now watching it. Unfortunately, there are
100%.
people that, and a lot of people that haven't. So, I guess it's shitty, but it's realistic. It's real life. A lot of people haven't, but you have. So you are stronger than you think you are. So if you have been through all of the fucking shit that you have been through, why can't you do anything better? You've already got the shit out of the way, not all out of the way, but you've already been able to handle some people have been through some of the worst shit you even fucking imagine. But you've been through that. So why don't you use that strength that you have now to fucking do something crazy? Risk what the fuck ever. If you're at rock bottom, what is the problem? You have nothing else to fucking lose. If your life is absolute dog shit, you're like, it's fucking sucks. This is the worst shit possible.
Yep.
Then what the fuck else is there to lose? You can't lose anything. Go for it.
I agree.
Honestly, that right there is a blessing in all honesty. And it sounds fucking crazy. If you have nothing, the world is fucking right there at you. It's at your feet. That's right there. Because there's nothing holding you back. Nothing at all.
Well,
so fucking go for it.
I want to say it was EB that said this as well, but you have already survived 100% of your worst days. That's 100% survival rating. So why the fuck would you quit now?
That's right.
Keep moving forward. Keep pushing forward.
That's right. And it's funny if you think about it. The worst. I think I've said in one of the videos. The hardest battles you're ever gonna have are the ones with yourself. They're the worst ones because you are your own worst fucking critic. Everything everything you do, you fucking hate it. Like because it's not gonna work. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I'm fucking ugly. I'm fat. I'm skinny. It doesn't matter. Like everything you do that's good. You feel great for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, back of your mind, you're like, oh fuck, now what? Right?
Yeah.
So you battle yourself every day. So you like you said, your win percentage is 100%.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the video I did with two vets just the other day when it's and the videos prior to that, any of my videos that are prior to this video, you could tell that I was nervous. Excuse me. You could tell I was nervous. You could tell I was not feeling up to par. But it's like, I mean, I'm still nervous, but I'm working. I'm working through that. I'm trying to build myself better at focusing on the camera, focusing on chats. It's just
you're doing a really good fucking job, by the way. You're doing a hell of a job. And that's not me just kissing your ass. You're actually doing a really good fucking job.
Well, thank you, because I'm nervous as shit. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I am. I'm nervous as shit. But you want to know something? This is what I want to do. This is. I want to be able to help people through my words because I've been through a lot of shit, and I also want to bring people on the show or on this podcast that have been through shit that can help other people through the shit they've been through. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to stand up and say, hey, this is why we're here. Let's get this done. Let's work through our traumas, become better people. And man, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm building Empowered Kings, which Kevin can tell you, Two Vets can tell you. I am building Empowered Kings, a Discord server for men to come in. That there's no females actually allowed to speak in the chats. No offense, females, but this is a man's place. I'm sorry. That sounds very sexist, but it is what it is. It is a place where men can actually talk about themselves and not have to worry about feeling weak. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if your husband ever is quiet, it's because he never wants you to look at him as he's weak. And every man feels this way. Every man feels like if they tell you how they're feeling, it makes them look weak. I don't care what you tell them. You can say, oh, it don't make you look weak. I'll still love you. Da, da, da. It's us, not you. I promise you, if you are having trouble reaching through to your husband, getting him to talk about your problems, it is nothing to do with you and everything to do with him because it is something men cannot do. Sorry.
That's where I am going to agree to disagree. For me, it's it has taken a number of years for me to be as comfortable and finding, no pun intended, but finding those boundaries and being able to voice my
Where it's a
voice my
pun.
feelings. Well, the boundaries,
Oh, okay.
and from that standpoint, because I talk a lot about boundaries, whenever I train dogs.
Yeah,
boundaries
we
and
know.
boundaries and limitations, but so that's where the pun comes in. But a little bit about myself, and this is a little bit about my story. So I did 4 years active duty Marine Corps from 2009 to 2013. And believe it or not, my high school bully was my APL, and I was
What?
strong-willed, and I was able to make it through.
So for those of us that weren't in the Marines, what's an APL?
My apologies. My assistant patrol leader.
Okay, so your bully was in charge of you.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Made you a stronger person, didn't it?
Well, graduating boot camp, earning the title Marine, and just going through the things that they put you through, all of that, you come out one way anyways, but to add that on top, I mean it definitely tests your stones, if you catch my drift. And then from 2014 to 2018, I re-enlisted into the National Guard. Roughly about 2016, I started seeing signs and symptoms, and I started seeing my demons, from the military, and whatnot, and in addition to, I started seeing, I started seeing some issues in my first marriage, pop up, and there were some red flags that I should have, caught, but I mean, it's always better to catch them late than not catch them at all. But that's another, that's another, that's another topic in and of itself. So fast forward to 19, I had lost my job. I was filing for a VA claim that wouldn't allow me to work, but I still had a house, I still had car payments, I still had, the whole caboodle of, of life, being thrown at me. And I don't know if I said my demons and, the loss of job, but I was also going through, I was actually in the middle of a divorce. And so those three, those three things, whenever I talk to any and every psychologist and, you know, mental health professional, I had the perfect Molotov cocktail that I should not be here. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? Well, guess what? I'm still here, motherfuckers.
Right.
You know, so,
So
but
what
I,
would you say? What would you say your like? How do I put this? I know the story between you and how you got into dog training. What keeps you motivated on, keeping up with, your server on TikTok, or not TikTok, but Discord, your page on Facebook and all that? What keeps you motivated to do that?
I mean, yes, I want to serve people,
Mhm.
but to be honest with you, it's a fight to save my own ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I wake up every morning and in my own way, I have the Julian theory from Big Daddy. But I can wipe my own ass. Right?
Right.
You know, I got to save my own ass.
So
And
would you
you
would
know,
you would you say that the laws of attraction do work, or have you seen any signs of it working? I mean, other than you getting married to your wife.
well,
I
I
mean,
got the best wife, ever
okay,
on the planet.
that's
That's why
hey,
I married
listen, listen, that's an opinion. We want to stick with facts here, uh, Mr. Tuvets. No, but for real though, how has, like, with your dog training,
her. Hmm.
you started out?
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
know, so part of my answer is actually going to be, kind of going back. And once I got through the divorce, and
Yeah.
whatnot, you know, my wife and I, uh, we reconnected
Hmm.
and we started dating. And I'll tell you, the first week, it was within the first week. We sat each other down and we were talking, and we were talking about some heavy shit.
Yeah.
And we both looked at each other and we go, "You've gone through some shit. I've gone through some shit. If we want this to work as much as we want it to work, in order for us to have a healthy relationship, we need to go to couples counseling. It's not that, we can't talk to each other, but is we need to have those tools so we
Yeah.
can manage, in the future, and we can prepare ourselves for when that does. And I mean, there have been tons of times that we both have been like, not today,
So you
like
basically just chose not to give up, right?
exactly,
Which, because I'm going to tell you right now,
and
there's been many times, and I'm going to say this to everyone. There's been many times that I've been on the phone with Tuvets, and he decided to say something dumb to me, and I'm telling you right now, his wife, oh, she does not like him being mean to nobody.
mm-mm.
But the same thing goes, she doesn't put up with people being mean in general. His wife is really one of the kindest ladies, which I will say you got lucky there, Austin. I will say that.
Absolutely.
But I would have to say that from meeting you when I met you this summer, I think that was actually a very big learning experience for myself on when someone puts their mind to doing something, it can be done. And that's what you did. You trained Jet. You
Hmm.
decided you were going to start helping other veterans when you found the need that, the VA doesn't help you with service dogs. So you decided to start the Battle Buddy program, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, which do you, approximately how many veterans do you think the Battle Buddy program has helped?
Anywhere between 2 to 500, on a humbled scale, but realistically, probably anywhere between 500 to 1,000.
Okay. So, and this was 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were a single person training dogs at the time?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of service members that you yourself and your Battle Buddy program has helped, right? In my opinion, there's how the law of attraction worked for you, is because one, you saw a need, veterans needed help. You decided that, you were going to create this program so you can help train veterans dogs for free.
Well, I'll even go as far as this,
Go
and
ahead.
I'm not trying to talk myself up, but and I'm definitely not
No,
trying
do it.
to.
No.
I'm definitely-
Hold up. This is where you do need to talk yourself up, because you need to be proud of that success, because that's what's going to push you forward. Am I wrong, Kevin?
That's right.
Very true.
So go ahead.
But
By the way, I
well,
learned that from Kevin. If anyone asks, go check him out. I promise you, you will not.
well, I definitely don't want to do. I'm definitely not trying to plug my own Battle Buddies program, but
I did.
what I can say is
I plugged the
we-
shit out of it. Plug the shit out of no cut. I plug the shit out of no cut
You
cards.
need-
I'll plug the shit out of Battle Buddy program. Why? Because I believe in them. I believe that they are good. I believe that they can help. So why not?
I can tell you this, and whenever I was going through my crisis in 2019, it was this program that
Saved your
not
life.
only my dogs physically have saved my life, but the men and women who who I worked with, we created a bond with each other that it's like, you know what, I need to call one of my battles. And I was telling him a conversation that I had with my brother, which my brother is in a profession that I'm not necessarily going to disclose on here, but I was able to talk to him and be upfront, very transparent. And I was talking with my battle buddies, and they were like, dude, like, if it's important for you to talk to your brother and you're that concerned, maybe it's that serious that that you reach out for help. And yeah, we do get
So
we do get criticized, and we have that stereotype of, oh well, you're a veteran and you're going to the psychiatric unit. No, that was, to be honest with you, that was the smartest decision I ever could have made.
well, I
It
mean,
didn't.
getting help isn't a bad thing either, but
Right.
also being willing to help yourself to get through some hard times,
Very much.
that's okay if you can do it. I mean, I'll preach to the end of the day. If you have any issues, and you feel like you're at the end of your ropes and you don't think anyone else can help you, please pick up the phone, dial 988, or go straight to your hospital, because every hospital has to allow it. They will help. They will get you treatment for any mental health crisis. So please, if you are ever in a situation where you feel you have no other way out, please reach out.
Absolutely.
Reach out, because I promise your story is not done yet. Your story is not done yet, and this is why I'm here. This is
Right.
why Empowered Kings exists, is to make sure men and women, I'm going to give this to you too, make sure you guys know, reach out. There is always someone there. And I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest help I've ever gotten, I'm going to say it's the biggest help I've ever gotten when I was in a dark spot, has been from someone, and I'm going to call him out, someone that I didn't even know at the time. I never met him physically. I only met him through TikTok, and that was Austin over there. Straight out. Kevin, he's been big motivation for me to get going. I mean, I think we've been talking maybe 2-3 weeks, not even.
Yeah.
Something like that, since Veterans Day. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's about right.
So what I'm saying is you would be really surprised on when you ask for the right people to come into your lives. They do, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I did. I was watching motivational speakers such as if you don't know who he is, How to Beast. I went through that YouTube channel, which he's probably great for kids that are in their 20s going up, but it's all about dating and all that. It's not really and lifestyle. It's not really all about getting motivated to do what you got to do. So I started watching EB. If you don't know who that is, go check him out. Awesome motivational speaker. Let's see, Gary V, Tony Robbins. There's a lot of good videos out there as far as motivation, but it still didn't help. It's really different when you actually are around people that are like-minded. I told Kevin, I straight out told him, I was like, man, talking to Kevin for me was like fluent. It was like fluid, it wasn't pushed. It didn't feel hard. It just came out,
Yep.
So with that said, find yourself a mentor, because these two guys right here, they've kind of unknowingly, they kind of became my mentors. So, find yourself a mentor, someone that's going to be like-minded, or possibly someone that's wanting to go where you're wanting to go, because they're wanting to go where you're wanting to go. You guys can piggyback off each other, learn from each other, and guess what? Make each other great. Because no one said you had to be the only person at the top of the damn mountain.
Yeah, you can't. It won't happen. You'll never. You gotta climb those mountains. You cross one up, back down, up another one. That's how it goes. And I will say a little bit of advice is you can watch, and I've learned this. You can watch as many, whether it's business or self-help or motivation or any type of shit. You can only watch it so long before now you're just watching it.
Yeah.
You can watch it for fucking 10 years straight. It doesn't do any good until you actually do something with it. That's action is action, and that's it. There's nothing else. Action is action. It's, of course, I've did this. I watched a bunch of shit for a long time, and I eventually got to the point where I was like, the fuck am I doing now? It taught me a lot, but I'm like, well, what am I doing? Why am I just sitting here watching it? Like, what's the point of watching and learning and listening if you're not going to fucking help yourself? Right. But again, like what we're saying is with like the law of attraction, where you were at and what you were thinking about, that's why you and I got together. And I guarantee you we got together for that same. I was thinking the same shit. I guarantee it. It's somewhere along the line, our frequencies got on the same level, and somewhere along the line, and that's when it connected. And that's how it goes. I told you that. I told you on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking a couple days ago. I said, I don't just talk to people all day, every day. It doesn't work that way. Because I don't, and not because I love helping.
I hate being on the phone.
Well, I told you I love helping people. I love talking to people. It's fine. And I will talk to whoever all day. But as soon as it becomes where I give a shit more than they do, it's fucking done.
Yeah, there's no point.
Right. But I told you, when I talk to you, I get a value out of it. So it's not just like, it doesn't work that way.
Which,
but that's drawing the right people to you, though. That's the law of attraction. You're looking for something, and the shit just comes to you. And when you see it and you watch where you go, you're like, holy shit, that's exactly the reason.
Which I could say I believe, because I've been on TikTok, which anyone that knows me from TikTok knows that I'm on my second account. But I've been on TikTok since TikTok started. And for me to come across your page, yours yourself, okay, after I know I've been talking to Austin for 2 to 3 weeks about starting this podcast up, and I've got a few videos up that I've done.
Maybe 2 or 3 years.
Right. Just didn't really feel right. The couple videos I think I started a few months ago, but they didn't feel right. It's like I felt like I was forcing them. And I came across your video, the Veterans Day video, like I said before. At first I was mad, and then I was like, wait a minute, this guy's actually kind of funny. And then I messaged you, or you messaged me saying thanks for the support and all that. And then we started talking and everything like that. And it's like, I found out you were wanting to do podcasts, and you're wanting to, get your merch out there and everything like that. And I'm like, this guy pretty much saying the same thing I've been saying for months that I want to do. So it's like, I think you're right. That law of attraction, it didn't, it's not that I was looking for someone that's like-minded like myself. It's just, okay, so this is how the laws of attraction are going to work for me. Okay. we put these two guys on the same path, and boom, you know,
Yep.
and that's
Yep. And
where it went.
that's right. And you know, and that's something else too is, and this isn't anything negative against anybody. It's, you know, I might only, and in life in general, I might only be worth to you for a certain period of time. And once
Yeah.
that period of time, if it becomes that period of time, if it becomes to where that's over, we will be separated. But it's not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying that, but you don't know. You don't know how it works. You could very well outgrow me. I could outgrow you. Anyone can outgrow anybody. And the thing is, you cannot just, the things that are attracted to you, you need them at that point. Whether you need them for the future, you don't know, because that might be great for right now. You draw that, you attract that tool to you right now. That's great, but that's for now and where you're going here. But that does not mean you're going to be able to use that tool over here. It's just how it works.
I agree.
I've tried to explain it before. Is think of it as you have this big fucking shed just full of old, shitty, rusted up, just fucked up tools. You want to build a house. You look over your Galandra, I'm going to build a house here, but you don't have anything to use. It's all fucked up. But if you open that door and you can't even walk in, it's just wall to wall, shitty ass tools. Well, every time you go through a shitty situation, it gets out, it removes one of those tools and puts a nice new one back in. And now you can start building. So you as a person, you have a whole fucking just plethora of just shitty things that you don't even realize. They're just in there. Not say shitty, but things you can't use. And as you grow, you attract new shit and the old shit goes. So that goes for people. You don't, just because you know somebody and you've known them for 20, 30 years, it doesn't matter. If they don't serve that purpose in life, it's going to be stripped from you at some point. Doesn't mean forever, and maybe you'll come back together later, but it's just how it all works. And you can't force it. That's what you start forcing it, you're fucked. You can't force it. And a lot of times you don't think you're forcing anything, but you really are. Just like we were talking earlier too. If there's decisions that you need to make, but you don't make them, they're going to be made for you. It's going to happen. Life is going, whether you believe it, whether it's God, you believe in a cucumber, you believe in a fucking tree, whatever your God is, it doesn't matter. But for me, how I see it is, you don't make, whether good or bad, you don't make those decisions. They will be made, and it's going to be a way fucking harder if you don't make them. Yeah. And your God, so to speak, has to. And that's something I learn every day, every day. But you don't know you don't know those decisions. Sometimes you don't know what they are until they're made for you. Like, fuck, I think I should have done that before because this really sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you also have to keep in mind, and I'm reminded of the analogy, whenever I was in Sunday school, the planting and the harvesting, one person may plant the seed, but they're not supposed to harvest the seed. And then
that's basically what he's saying.
Well, right, but I'm just calling it. I'm actually saying it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Is that the path that you're talking about?
Well, not necessarily. It's, you have, anything you think you're planting the seed, you're planting your own seed, like you said, you are planting your own seed, but it's not up to anybody else to harvest that. You still have to harvest that, but you might have to find other ways to harvest it. But it's not all, but just because you plant it doesn't mean, okay, now I planted this seed, now I'm going to go get someone else to harvest the motherfucker.
It should automatically grow.
You still have to do it. There's no way around it. And I think a lot of people think that, okay, I got to this level, who's getting me to the next? It's not that. It's, you're at this level, this other person's at this level, you all connect and move to the next level. And whether that person is still there at that level, you might part ways, go different paths, right? But at the end of the day, your life is still 110 fucking % your responsibility and nobody else's. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, it'll happen eventually. Well, if you're not willing to do it, why the fuck should somebody else, right?
Well,
I agree.
I'm looking at, this podcast, with Desert, he's told me, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, okay, you get your stuff, put a plan together. Let's talk about it. And then, so I've been talking with him over the years, and it's like, okay, when are you going to do it? What are you going to do it? And then you come in, less than 2 weeks. And the little sucker already has a podcast. I'm like,
About time.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, I hate to say it, but
It
you
just took.
know,
I think it just took the right person to be like, you know what, let's do it. Fuck it.
well,
I'm doing it. Fuck it. Yeah.
well,
Well,
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Going back to planting the seed, harvesting the seed, and
Yep.
then reaping, the benefits from that seed.
Mhm.
You know, yes, I helped plant, those ideas and
Mhm.
growing, that portion, from that standpoint. But Kevin came in on phase 2 of the harvest.
Yes, I agree.
Well,
You know,
but I did not harvest a thing. I walked up and said, "Hey, can I harvest your shit?" And you're like, "You know what? You can help harvest my shit. That's
right.
cool." But if he hadn't let me in, if he had let me on his fucking property and shot me in the ass when I walked up, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be harvesting. He would be harvesting shit. You see what I'm saying? So it just goes both ways. Like I said. So yeah, I get it. So you do need other people to
Oh yeah.
help. And if anyone says you can do it yourself, even in business, okay, with business, by yourself, you can get here. Okay. And wherever that is, it doesn't matter. Get here. Well, if you're not willing to let anyone else help you with let's say if you're doing everything yourself, okay, well, if you don't get someone else to do, let's say your accounting and someone else to do your HR and someone else to do your production, and you're doing all of it, all that time you're spending doing that shit, you could be doing other things. So you have to leverage your time. So you have to leverage other people to help you do other shit. But so when you let people help you, you get here. Okay. But here's the problem. You stop here when people help you and you still have to make all the fucking decisions. Whereas you have all these different people helping, but you're like, it has to go through me first. That's fine. But now you're stopped here. The real place when you go is when you say, okay, I'm doing this. There's nothing stopping me. Who wants to go? Who wants to come? Okay, I like your skills. Boom. You do what's best for us and you fucking go. So, like I said, but that's also having other people help you do shit, but you are still in control of it because it's your thing. You're not necessarily micromanaging, but your thing, right? So to do anything on your own to a certain level is fucking impossible. And sometimes that might just be a little bit of someone giving you a swift kick in the ass, right? And that's it. And that's the only thing I think maybe what with us, what maybe drove you a little bit more was I wasn't like Austin, like obviously, yeah, you kept it up in there. You kept it fucking going. Hey, you do your thing. If you're gonna fucking do it, okay, I'll be there for you. Great. But
I had like 3 contracts in my email from him stating I'll do it. Because he got tired of me talking about it. He goes, you know what, fuck this. I'm making out a contract. You're gonna sign it, you're gonna do it. I'm done hearing about it.
But the only difference is that when I talked to you, I said, why aren't you fucking doing it? I didn't say do it when you're ready. I said, fucking do it. Like, if you don't do it, you're not going to do it. Because like you waited 3, 4, however many fucking years, right, to do it.
Yep.
And now you're doing it. And is it as bad as you thought it was going to be when last 3, 4 years? Fuck no. Right? It's not. It's actually pretty cool. It's nerve wracking, but
it's cool.
But
coming up with things to talk about, like today, the laws of attraction factor, that actually, literally, I came up with that based on our conversation the other night with my car, and my car literally blowing the motor. That's literally how this whole podcast tonight was not even planned. It was actually not even supposed to be live. It was just supposed to be what do we call it?
Like a trial run,
a test run. It was supposed to be a test run, completely offline, recorded, so I can learn how to talk to people.
It was like 8:30.
Yeah,
it was like 8:30. I said, "Hey, we still gonna do this?" I have an idea. I'm like, "What you got?" You're like, "This shit that happened today." I'm like, "Well, fuck it, let's rock and roll.
Let's roll." Yeah,
and
that's mind you, Austin. He was actually at his buddy's, I believe, concert. I think.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah. No, Austin was, and he goes. Well, I guess I'll be there when I can. I'm like, nah, dude, you have fun. This is a spontaneous thing. I don't expect you to be here every time.
But he still did it.
Yeah,
but he still did it, and that's supportive. That's fucking supportive. That is, and that again, that's shit. That yes, you need to be able to support yourself. You are your own biggest supporter, 100%.
Yeah.
But to have other ones who legitimately support you, not just support you when you're, oh yeah, they're starting, but like I know Austin's going to be the person that supports you the whole fucking way. You could be up here. And he's not jealous you're there.
Yeah.
He's going to support you from like he did from day one. And that's a real person that you need to be around at all times. But you find that out when you start making those fucking moves. That's when you find that shit out. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey,
Mhm.
you're doing great, man. Keep going. But then you start moving up. It's like, oh, I mean, what you good? Or like, oh, you're doing this now. It's like, yeah, like, why aren't you supporting me now, motherfucker? Like, now that I'm doing it, like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing it. So where are you? Yeah.
right, exactly.
But one thing I will say this. It is doing this by myself is, and I'm not gonna lie, it's scary. It's scary because I feel like I'm crazy. I don't know if anyone else has ever made. Well, I'm sure everyone here has made videos of some kind where they're talking to themselves. But I'm reminded back when I don't know if anyone is. I'm not going to tell my age real quick. So I had a recorder. You guys remember those Talk Boys from Home Alone? Okay, I had one of those. I
Me
had
too.
one of those, and I used to play like I was a DJ on a radio, on a radio, like I was a radio host, and I'd sit there and start making like stupid ass commentary. I look back on it, it's like I wasn't nervous to do that stuff around people before. Why the hell am I so nervous to do it on an internet where, but it's still, it's really, it's kind of, it's scary. Your first, going through this, it's kind of scary because it's like,
Well, I think
well,
because
what if I
we
get
know,
haters in the comments? It's
That's
like, what if
that's
people?
good. That's what you want. You want that
right,
shit. You
Yeah,
really do,
right.
man. If you please everybody, you're fucked. Like I'm just being honest with you. It is funny. The best part about it is haters, honestly, the ones who actually push you further.
oh,
They really do. Because they're, oh, look at this piece of shit. It's like, okay, we'll go ahead and share my shit to 10,000 people. Yeah, you really showed me. Right.
yeah.
Right. I'm
Which
just being honest.
so on TikTok, that's actually why I quit doing call outs on TikTok, is because I was starting to realize that people that I was calling out were getting more views. They were making money off of it. And I'm like, this is counterproductive. I wanted these people to be known so that way they're kicked off the app and all that. Now I'm realizing, I'm like, this is counterproductive. I'm just making these guys famous, but they're making money off being famous.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm a dumbass. Why did I ever even do this?
You get on there and start talking shit about yourself.
I'm like, wait a minute. All these people are sharing these profiles out. Now people are going and viewing their profiles and commenting on the show. That's something I learned. Even hateful comments counts towards the algorithm. The algorithm can't recognize hate speech and praises. They can't recognize between the two.
Yeah. Look, like well, if you like, I don't watch the news. I don't care. I just don't. I don't watch TV. Period.
No.
But people always go towards negativity more than go towards positive. That's why everything's always negative. I mean, yeah, if something positive, oh, that's great. Like that they saved a kid from a burning building. That's great. But let's flip back over here and watch 12 people got murdered. It's more entertaining to people. And
I agree.
Again, but that's why our brains work that way. Again, they're always our brains are built for negativity.
Okay.
Well, there was actually one night that we quote unquote staged a call out where Desert was going to call me out, and I mean, he was talking trash. He was like, I mean, you want to talk about, I'm gonna
I
take the
called him
filter off.
I called him everything under the sun.
Like I mean, he was talking mad shit, right? Well, we got up to like 20, 30, almost 50, and I almost want to say it was like 200 people.
We had
live.
On that live, we had 234 people, mind you. Okay,
Yeah.
we usually do hangout lives where we used to do hangout lives where, we just hang out, listen to music, and just enjoy conversation, right? Well, it got to the point to where haters show that you're standing for something. I agree. Excuse me. It got to a point to where me calling him out and me talking trash on him, literally 234 people in that live, right? And mind you, this is when I was trying to change my platform over to do more positive lives, more positive things, right? Well, when he finally gets up there, we hit our peak, and I'm like, look, this is pretty sad that you guys are all here to hear me call out my friend. What the heck just happened? Hey, Austin, did you come in on a secondary account, bud? Hello. But either way, they were there to watch me call them out because they didn't know. And then as soon as they realized that it was all staged, just to call them out, every person that was in there that was there literally for the drama, that's when I realized that's all people care about. What do you? Oh, there he is. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to watch? Are you going to watch wrestling or are you going to watch ballet? Like, I mean, as men, what are you going to watch? Wrestling or ballet?
Well, and that also brings back to this too. But that also brings back to the law of attraction. What happened? You were talking negative, you're talking shit, you're starting a bunch of shit, a bunch of trash, right? And what did it bring you? It brought you negative fucking trash. So there it is. Like, that's the perfect example of law of attraction. What you talk about, what you think about, what you fucking do draws that shit to you. That's a perfect example. But it happens to all of us every day, every day. It happens. Yeah. So, but yours, it just brought to a whole different scale. You brought 250 people who just were negative piece of shit that just wanted to see a bunch of trash talk, which is fine. Like, I don't watch that shit. No, I don't care. Right. I don't give a shit about that stuff. Yeah. That's how I am. But it drew the people who do. And unfortunately, if you know, like we talking about, you drew the people that were haters in life. What happened? It drew them to you and it made your shit fucking explode. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's all negativity.
And here's the funny thing though, is like all those people that showed up, most of them that I called out for being just there because of the drama are the same people that were doing the call outs and everything like that are now doing positive work on TikTok. And I like that. I mean, I'm glad that is what it took. I mean, I'm glad it took that for people to start being more positive. I'm really glad it did, because now there's a lot more positive people on TikTok. Yeah, we still got our calls. Yeah, we still got the drama.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna have that. It's human nature to have drama, but I like the fact that I'm able to scroll through that For You page and see people like you and people like Ethan Ken and all that actually trying to promote some positivity, even if it's in comedy. I'm down for comedy. Send me some comedy stuff. I like laughing. In my opinion, laughter is one of the best cures for depression.
Oh yeah.
I personally think that people that are depressed, they just need to go see Matt Rife.
He's pretty funny. He's pretty good.
That or Dave Chappelle. I mean, he's funny too.
He's my favorite. I love Chappelle, man.
Oh awesome. Yeah. Problem is he's funny, but everything he talks about is truth. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're right. But it's
James.
But you know why? Because
Brad Williams, he's funny too.
Whoa. I don't know what's going on with your mic, dude. Whoa. I don't know what happened to his mic. I gotta let him know. Hang on. Oh, you brought me coffee. See, guys, this is why I love my daughter. My daughter brings me coffee. You rock. You rock. All right. Let's see if he got his mic fixed. Is it fixed yet?
Nope, I hear it.
I hear something.
Check. Can you hear me?
Hang on a sec. Hang on 1 second. Edit mic settings. That's why. It might be a signal. It might be your signal, bud. What are you on? Message me on Messenger, Austin.
All right.
What? All right, that hurts. I'm gonna remove him from the stage real quick because I don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
But I personally, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because we've been live for now 2 hours. Oh, sorry, an hour and a half. Jesus. Hour and a half. But I mean,
time flies, doesn't it?
But I will have to say, in my opinion, law of attraction, you can't prove it's fact and you can't prove it's fake. But I'm gonna tell you right now, what I can say is it's what you make of it. Because it's your fucking life, dude. And I'm not talking to you. I mean, like everyone. Yeah. It's your fucking life. You
Yeah.
want something better, push yourself and work fucking harder and get there. Yes,
That's right.
you're gonna have down days. Yes, you're gonna fucking have days that you just don't want to do it. Believe
Yeah.
me, I know. I've been there. I've done it. Trust me. And over half the people that follow me, I'm sure you've seen me go through it. Especially if you followed me from TikTok, you've seen me go through it. You know what kind of freaking darkness I go through. So with that said, I'm going to end this live. Thank you, Kevin, for joining. I hope you're able to
Absolutely.
join again soon.
Next time I'm here, buddy boy.
I will
You
be
got it.
doing these lives from here on out, Friday nights, 9-10 o'clock every Friday. I'm only going to do one live stream a week, starting out because I do have to work, and I also still have my TikTok stream, not TikTok stream, Twitch stream, which if you guys don't know the Twitch stream, it's desert_rat26 on Twitch. Come check us out. We do have merch on for our Twitch stream as well. We will be getting Empowered King merch. Just waiting to see how things go. I'm gonna say this right now: the merch for Empowered Kings, the merch for Desert Rat 26 on Twitch, everything I get from that goes right back into this. It goes right back to making this better. I'm trying to get better equipment for for the podcast itself. I mean, I will say this: there is a gentleman that bought me the camera that you guys are actually watching me on. He's a good friend of mine. I call him my brother. But once again, tune in next time. Don't forget, if you guys ever have any questions, just ask them in the comments. And if you want to jump in, talk to us yourselves, let us know. It won't be till the end because I've got to figure this out on how we're going to do this. But there's a lot more to come. Hopefully this gets better. No, it's not hopefully. It's going to get
There
better.
you go.
Let me rephrase
There you
that.
go. You got it.
It's
You
going
got
to
it.
get better. So tune in next week, 9-10 o'clock Central Time, Friday nights. So y'all take care. Kevin, is there anything you want to say before you go?
Oh, it was awesome, man. It was great. I love being on this. And to anybody else, anybody wants to talk, shoot the shit. No Cut Cards on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, same thing. The official No Cut Cards. I try to respond to everybody. I try to every single person I try to respond to. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. But again, if I start talking to you, I give a shit more about you than you do. Whatever. Yep. I will tell you, if you want to talk, it's just like this. So, and I'm cool with it. As long as you're cool with it. If I'll never call you moron, never call you idiot, nothing like that. But I will. If you ask a question, I'll fucking tell you. No, well, it's subjective. It's subjective, right? So either way, I had a great time. I don't know who the hell's out there. I can't see the shit. Even if it was on here, I'm blind. I couldn't see shit.
Okay, so Heathen Ken. I can't believe I said that name. Heathen Ken, Yvonne Pate, thank you guys for showing up. Let's see who's on Facebook. It looks like Caitlin Miller. Yeah. And Angel. So y'all, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for actually watching. I do appreciate it. Will, thank you for watching as well. Kevin, thank you for showing up. So
absolutely,
we're going to go ahead and end this right there. Y'all take care. Don't forget to check out nocutcards.com. If you got a good story that led to some kind of success of yours, please share it with them. If you got a story that could possibly help others, please share it with them on No Cut Cards. All you have to do is go to nocutcards.com and you will find the spot that says story. I believe the stories are after store.
So I think so. I gotta look at. I can't remember my damn self.
I will tell you guys. Get it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I've got a few different links on the main page. Hit the button, it'll go to the forum. You can go to stories. It's on there too. I will tell you, if anybody wants to go on there, the one story on there, there's two on there. One of them is a little bit longer. That one is a very small percentage of me. That's mine. So just to know, I get it all out there. I don't have a problem with it. So just if you need a little bit of security with that, mine's on there too. I would never tell somebody to do something I wouldn't do myself ever. Never fucking do that.
I will be putting my story up as well. I keep forgetting. I keep saying I'm going to. I keep forgetting, but I'll be putting my story up there soon as well. Basically talking about my battle with my kids and my will to succeed. Honestly, absolutely. So you guys take care. Have a very nice night and a great weekend. I will see you next Friday, 9-10 o'clock Central Standard Time for another broadcast. Y'all take care. Abracadabra.
All right. See y'all later. Uh-oh. Don't know how to end it.
I don't know if it ended. I can't tell if it ended or not. I just hit end.
Just close the whole fucking thing out. I'll call you.
End stream. Oh, there it is.